I think all of us have specific things inside of Premiere that we find ourselves doing over and over again, and I'm always looking for ways to cut time out of the technical process required for your creative project. And inside of Premiere, a great tool to that end are custom presets, which are a lot easier to make than you might think. A common effect that we use for our work is a subtle zoom, sometimes on a video like this, but most often on images that we're using as B-roll. So using any clip, we'll drop on the transform effect, then tap on the stopwatch next to scale, move a few frames forward, and raise the scale a tiny bit. Now position the keyframes at the start and end of the clip, and we'll adjust to get the speed that we want. Then we're going to right-click the transform effect and tap Save Preset. Now when we go over to our effects panel, we'll find this preset inside of our preset folder. When we drag and drop, Premiere is going to place the effect on the clip relative to its length. Meaning, if the scale keyframes were at the beginning and end of the original clip, Premiere will always place it at the beginning and end regardless of the length. Same if you were to have a keyframe right in the middle. So for something like this, it's nice to have several presets of varying zoom speeds for different lengths. But now I can make a zoom preset for a short clip and name it something like scale 100 through 102. Then I can do the same for medium and long length clips with a similar naming convention. So I can just grab and go with whatever I need. You can also create a preset for this type of look, where you have your image in the foreground and a duplicate of that image zoomed, blurred, and darkened to act as the background. To make this, we'll duplicate our track, then hide the top track for now. Now I'm going to add the transform effect, a Gaussian blur, and Lumetri color. Set your scale to taste, same with the blur and exposure from Lumetri. No right answer here, it's all subjective, but once you have something that you like, hold Control on Windows or Command on Mac, select your 3 effects, right-click, and tap Save Preset. Name this whatever you would like, then unhide your top track. Now to this top track, I'm going to drag in our zoom preset, then I'll add in a drop shadow as well. Then once again, I'll select my effects, right-click, and create a preset. So now for future episodes, I can use both of these presets to come up with this effect very quickly and just move on again. Of course, you can refine this further by adding an ease in or ease out, keyframes for positioning, and so on. You can also create all kinds of audio presets, especially if you have certain audio effects you use on a regular basis. Like this preset, Music Dip for vocals, you could add this onto your music tracks where you have a simple parametric EQ that will make some room for the vocal frequencies. We talked about that more in an episode about editing music to your project, so check that out if you'd like, or don't. Whatever keeps you happy. But there are an insane amount of presets you can make, including presets with third-party plugins. It doesn't have to just be built-in effects. I could take something like Film Convert. Maybe there's a black and white build-out that I use often, so instead of redoing this each time, I can save that as a preset and drop it right into any project. Same goes for something like the VHS effect, glows, and so on. The idea here is to identify those things that you use most often and remove the need to redo that over and over again. You can also go to your Effects tab and create a new custom bin, title it something like Favorites, and now I can drag in my presets and other effects I use most often, giving you quick access to your most used effects and presets. There's plenty of resources online that will offer you presets using built-in Premiere effects to purchase or free as well, so if you don't want to make your own, you could easily source that online. The whole idea here is to cut out the unnecessary repetitive work and free up more time just to be creative. And in the case of the custom bin, keep all those most used elements together to find quickly, saving you time there as well. But that's how you can create your own custom presets. And if you have other topics you'd like to see us discuss on the show, leave us a comment below. And subscribe to the channel for more tutorials and updates like this one, because clicking is a workout for your finger, and I'm just putting your health first.